Hey guys, it's Mark Rodriguez here. I'm going to review the second episode of Hellsing Ultimate. In case you guys don't know what that is, it's basically the OAV remake version of the original Hellsing anime series. Just at this time, it's more faithful to the manga, and of course because OAVs have bigger budgets, it has better quality animation, and more blood and guts, and all that good stuff that people want to see with Hellsing and other such, supernatural horror type anime. And I know the series has been out for a while, it's a couple of years old actually, but it has recently hit Cartoon Network on Konami, 3 o'clock in the morning, Saturday night / Sunday morning, I would say. So yeah, if you guys still haven't seen it yet, we're only down to episode 2 so far. I haven't missed too much, you can still jump on in. But yeah, every Saturday night at 3 o'clock in the morning, they're putting it, so check it out. And I'm going to give a brief synopsis of the episode and go into my thoughts about it. And well, this episode starts off with Integra having a meeting with these, I guess they're businessmen or government people or people behind security, or I don't know what they are, but they're supposed to be important bigwigs or whatever. And she's discussing about this recent rash of vampires, these fake vampires, because they're actually like I guess normal humans with microchips installed that make them into vampires. And I like how she notices little differences here and there. I'm not sure if this is true in all vampire folklore or just made up for Hellsing, but apparently if you've had sex before and you're bitten by a vampire, you become a mindless ghoul, basically like a vampire zombie. It just growls and grunts and wants to suck blood and everything, kill everything in its path. But if you're a virgin when you're bitten, you're still basically yourself, but I mean, you're a vampire now, but you can still think and function and act kind of like how you would normally act, just that now you're a vampire and everything. And another fact that she pointed out was in the last episode, Alexander has already mentioned that he had already killed the host vampire, and the ghouls were still rampaging around anyway, because that's one thing I do know about other versions of vampires from other media, that yeah, usually if you kill the guy who made everyone else into a vampire, the other vampires either die too, or they just turn back to normal or something, so it's just pretty strange. And meanwhile, Victoria is getting used to being a vampire, and we see a bit more of Walter there and Alucard, and it's like, a little funny scene, like, oh, this is your coffin, you're gonna sleep here now. What? What's my bed? We threw it out, you don't need a bed anymore anyways, you're a vampire now, sleep in the coffin. And Walter shows off new weapons and stuff. I guess he's also in charge of the weapons. Has a big-ass gun called a Jackal, which is even more powerful, more badass than the usual gun that Alucard normally has. And he also made this weird floor-mounted, big-ass, like, I don't know, rocket launcher, bazooka type gun for Victoria, so that's pretty cool. But meanwhile, outside, we got these new vampire guys, the Valentine brothers, John and Luke, and Luke is basically more dapper, dressed in this fancy little, like, white suit and acting all, more refined, I guess, the way he acts. And John is just straight up gangster, with the hood and the profanity and all the, I guess, we want to call it modern pop culture references and whatever. And you got an army of ghouls, but they're like SWAT team ghouls with, guns and the big shields to protect from bullets and everything like that. And their main job is just to get inside the Hellsing building, kill everyone inside, especially Integra and Alucard. So, yeah, they bust their way inside. The people in the meeting are panicking because that these vampires are eventually going to make it to them. And, well, the good guys decide to split up. Like, Alucard's going to basically just stay in the basement chilling, waiting for them to come to him because they know they're going to be coming after him anyway. While Walter and Victoria go upstairs and try to kill all the zombies and everything. And, of course, here's our chance to see Walter show up that he's not just a butler. He's also, like, I guess, one of the oldest vampire hunters ever. And he fights with these little strings, those strings that the assassins usually use to slit your throat and whatever, but, he moves super fast, and all the strings are, all over the place, and you can't see them. All he has to do is pull them, and all of a sudden, everyone's arms and legs and whatever start falling off, so he's pretty fast for his age. And, of course, Victoria starts blowing shit up with her big-ass, gun that they just gave her. And as for John and Luke, well, John I don't really see him have any special abilities, just that he's a vampire and he's basically leading the army into battle. But Luke in particular, he does have incredible super speed. He has these big swords, or a sword, something sharp. You could barely see it. All you see is little lines and traces, and bam, people's heads start falling off and everything. And Luke finally makes it down to where Alucard is. Alucard's just chilling, yes, I've been waiting for you. And Luke brags about how he was specifically made to be stronger, more badass, more faster, more powerful than Alucard. They start shooting each other, and, John is basically Luke is zipping back and forth, and Alucard's basically just getting shot and just taking it and laughing like nothing, and Luke gets overconfident thinking, well, he's taking more damage than I am, I got him, there must be some limit to his power somewhere, but no. John gets defeated eventually, but then he does make it to Integra, but all the people were basically waiting with guns. They shoot the hell out of them. But either ways, after they defeated all the ghouls, there's a second round of ghouls, but now they're all the Hellsing people that have been killed recently. So there's a moment of shock and hesitation because Walter and Ceres don't want to kill their own buddies that are now vampires and monsters and things. And meanwhile, Alucard reveals his stronger power. He breaks a seal that limits his power, and he becomes this giant mass of black things with eyeballs everywhere. And John is basically, I'm sorry, I keep confusing names. Luke is basically horrified, and Alucard blasts both his legs off, and the guy can't escape anymore. And Alucard's like, well, what's wrong? You're a true vampire, aren't you? Regenerate your legs, stand back up. The night is still young. Keep on fighting. And of course, Luke can't do anything. He's scared out of his mind. He probably never trained him how to regrow his limbs or whatever. And Alucard's like, you're just a wimp. You're not worth my time. Pathetic excuse of a vampire and all that. And then, of course, the famous scene at the end that people probably, this is in the original series too, you probably love this, when Luke is like, you're nothing but a dog you're basically Hellsing's pet dog or something. And Alucard's like, well, if I'm a dog, then you're dog food. And his hand becomes a giant dog thing with more eyes or whatever. Basically devours Luke to the last drop of everything, And, well, they force John to talk, and John explains he has a microchip in his mind, too, and I guess it's whoever's running the show is hearing everything out, and he basically burns up, I assume, in holy fire or something, and yeah, so he warns that the millennium is coming and everything, and at the end of the episode, as Integra's trying to rack her mind as to what he meant by the millennium, we see that Nazis are involved. The mysterious bad guy we saw at the end of the first episode now has a bunch of army of Nazi vampires. So let's see what happens next episode after that. So yeah, so for my thoughts on the episode, it was pretty cool. It's really nothing we haven't seen before. It's the, I guess you want to call it, Valentine Brothers arc that we saw in the other anime series, I assume the manga too. It's pretty much the same thing, but it does bring back memories. I already know what's going to happen, but I was eager to see the scenes of Alucard turning into the big massive eyeballs and eating him and all that stuff. That was pretty cool. And they did have this scene at the beginning where there was a dream sequence of the original Count Dracula getting killed, or I guess defeated by Van Helsing and everything, and Alucard wakes up, and I guess this kind of implies that Alucard himself is the original Count Dracula, which might explain why he's so powerful. And I also like all the funny stuff. I like that John was actually killing people quoting the Konami code. He was zipping back and forth saying, yeah, up, up, down, down, left, right, yeah, bringing the fucking death thanks to Konami. And I'm surprised they actually said Konami. That was just holy crap. I was like, is that the Konami code? Until he actually said Konami, I'm like, damn. But that's another thing that's kind of funny about, well, not so much Hellsing, but I guess Cartoon Network's own, guidelines. I'm surprised that they have John saying, holy shit, oh shit, the whole episode uncensored, and at the end he's like, man, you're all a bunch of pussies, and it's all uncensored, but when he says the F word, man, bleep, that gets censored. So you can say shit and you can say pussy, but, and you can imply rape and stuff, but when you say the F word, whoa, hold on there's kids watching at 3 o'clock in the morning. You can't say that word. It's kind of weird. And yeah, I have seen, there are some other shows in Adult Swim that they say every other swear word out there, but the F word, no, don't say that. That's weird. And basically speaking, I'm not sure what else. It was pretty good. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that at the end, near the end of the episode, Ceres had a bit of a Orochi moment, if you're a King of Fighters fan. She basically got tackled down, and, well, once again, she got groped and squeezed, and, everyone wants to grab those boobs, I guess, by all the ghouls and everything, and she snaps and turns crazy and just basically into her vampire urges, I guess, and starts ripping and tearing everything apart into a big bloody orgy of violence that people want to see in Hellsing and stuff like that, until Integra comes and snaps her out of it. But I just thought, since her outfit does kind of sort of look like Leona's outfit from King of Fighters, that was my first thought. Oh crap, she just went Orochi Leona on these people. I can't even speak anymore. But yeah, I don't really have that much to say about the episode. Like negative, it's a pretty good episode. It took me back to when I saw the anime version of this same kind of, I guess, chapter or whatever you want to call it, because this is all one episode basically. I think the anime version was part 1, part 2, something like that. But yeah, it was a pretty good episode. It's just awesome. It's cool. I guess the only complaint if people might complain is, I guess you want to fast forward this and just get to whatever episode when it finally starts reaching the new stuff never before seen that was not an anime version. But other than that, I mean, you just gotta love it. It's Hellsing. It's awesome. And yeah, that's basically all I can say about this. And well, just keep on watching, guys. Like I said, every Saturday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, Konami, you got Hellsing Ultimate. Let's see what happens with these Nazi vampires and all that stuff. And I'll be seeing you next week, guys. Check it out.